Yeah, as soon as that thing goes off, we'll run into it. I gotta get Angel to sit down now. You want to say that to her? Thank you. Love you too, buddy. After what I've been through. Yeah, you're right. All right, as soon as that goes off. Edie, they're showing the Board of Education meeting.
Oh, crumb buns.
Okay. Yeah, Board of Ed, if you want to go to that. Okay, we're just going to take a moment till we get the technical difficulties straightened out.
Okay, thank you, bye. He's taking care of it.
Thank you. Thank you, Phil.
No, it's not Phil.
Oh,
It's
thank you,
Ed.
whoever. There's powers to be in the ceiling. Ready? Go ahead. Ready?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not
Gavin.
going to step on this one. Good evening and welcome to the June 19th, 17th, June 17th, 2019 Clark Public Council meeting. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Albanese. Here. Councilman Barr.
Here.
Councilman Hunt.
Here.
Councilman Mazzarella.
Here.
Councilman O'Connor.
Here.
Councilman Smith.
Here.
Council President Toll.
Here, we're going to ask everyone to rise. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you so much.
This meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, as adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by mailing the annual schedule of meetings to the Star-Ledger, Union County Local Source, and Tappan to Clark, by posting such annual meeting schedule on the bulletin board in Town Hall reserved for such announcements, and the proper filing of said notice. Formal action may be taken at this meeting.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'm going to ask for a motion to suspend the regular order of business. Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Mayor and the police chief? We know where it's coming from.
Didn't they say to shut cell phones?
Yes, you did, sir.
Oh, I didn't listen to council.
And the mayor has the floor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Sorry about the cell phone. It's always someone bothering you. But anyhow, or potential spam, right? That's always the thing. Tonight we have a great night. We're going to be swearing in two homegrown Clark boys as police officers, just graduated the academy, and I want to congratulate them on that. And we're going to award nice certificates to two wonderful soccer teams that won some big-time games in their leagues, and they're champions, and we congratulate you. Welcome to the Night of Champions. We'd like to have you here, and we're happy. When that's done, you're going to the council president's going to ask you if you'd like to leave the meeting, and you can if you want to. If you'd like to stay, I'm going to be doing a presentation on our new police station we're going to be building right behind this building coming up. So if you're interested, you're more than welcome to stay. If you're not, you can go home and I will not be insulted. Honestly, okay? At this time, tonight we're going to be swearing in Brandon McKenna, patrolman here, grew up in town, and also Brendan Jacoby, who grew up here in town and is passed the academy. From what the chief has told me, gentlemen, you guys did a very, very good job in the academy. Both you guys grew up here in Clark, correct? Right? Yes, sir. Okay. And what I tell you in my office the day I hired you, Clark provided a great, safe, clean community for you to grow up in. For the next 30 years, All I want to hear is what you're going to do for Clark in return, not what Clark is going to do for you. It's already did it. Now's your turn. 30 more years. Hard work, protecting these great citizens. You're joining a terrific police department right now. Terrific. Pay attention. You have a lot of men here that will teach you different things. Take a little bit from everybody and then create your own style. So good luck and welcome. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Matos to say a few words, and then we'll get you up here for the swearing in. Chief?
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to take a moment to welcome you all, stellar athletes, boys and girls, parents, friends, and family, and of course, our two newest officers. Nothing brings me more pleasure than to be welcoming two new families to our family. Brendan and Brandon both grew up in Clark. Their character has been molded by this town. So, as the mayor said, it's now your turn to give back. Both these individuals graduated from ALJ. Both attended the police academy. They started back in January. They graduated just last week. And both underwent enormous amounts of training in all aspects of physical fitness training, everything from constitutional law to police tactics to arrest, search, and seizure, and a myriad of other topics, even to include conflict de-escalation. So I know you're ready to take on this new chapter of your career, and I'm looking forward to working with you and being in service with you, and I know you're going to do just fine. Both these officers are now going to be assigned to their respective platoons to a field training officer, where they'll undergo several more months of training before they will be, let's say, full-fledged officers. So to begin with, I'd like to welcome up Officer Brandon McKenna and his family. If you'd like to come up, please. Officer Brandon McKenna graduated from Arthur L. Johnson High School in 2011. Since then, he has obtained an associate's degree in criminal justice from Union County College. Tonight, he will be presented with badge number 192.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Brandon McKenna,
I, Brandon McKenna,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear truth, allegiance,
faith,
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
police officer
police officer
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
for the Township of Clark,
for the Township of Clark,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Welcome, congratulations. Brandon's brother's a state police officer, and he's pinning the badge on. I think it's a very nice touch.
It's a little tricky.
And, you know, good family love here, too, because if I was pinning the badge on my younger brother, I'd stick him with it, so this can tell it's good family here. Oh, he's got his vest on. Thank you, congratulations. Be safe.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to welcome up Officer Brendan Jacoby and his family. Officer Jacoby is a 2010 graduate of Arthur L. Johnson High School. He then attended Stockton College, where he received a bachelor's degree in history. He is also a former substitute teacher in the Clark schools. Tonight, he will be awarded with badge number 193.
Okay, welcome. Bernadette, you hold the Bible, of course. Okay, Brendan, please raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Brendan Jacoby,
I, Brendan Jacoby,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of New Jersey,
of the state of New Jersey.
that I will bear truth, faith, go ahead,
I will bear truth, faith,
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
on the authority of the people,
of the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of the office of police officer
of the office of police officer
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
for the Township of Clark.
in the Township of Clark,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations and welcome. You know, it's funny, we're a few nights away from high school graduation, and both of these guys graduated ALJ. So X amount of years later, close to graduation night, they're graduating the academy and taking on a new career. So that's just a terrific thing. Look at that, the chief got it right on. All right, chief.
Can I just say a couple words?
Go ahead, of course.
I just wanted to finish off the swearing in by saying to the families of the two new officers, especially the Jacoby family, that you're new into the law enforcement family, I'm assuming. Officer McKenna, your brother's a state trooper. I've known your brother for many years. He worked with me before. Your sons are going to be in good hands. We're going to watch over them, and we're going to make sure that we go home at the end of every shift. With that being said, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the mayor and the business administrator and the entire government body behind me, that without their support, we would not be able to do what we do day in and day out. And their support is shown when I need officers and I need to make a hire and I need to make a promotion. I never get told no. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, chief. All right, now we're on to the night of champions for our soccer teams here. Boys, I got bad news. Girls are going first. They're cuter. I'm sorry, I'm partial to girls. They're cuter. They're going first. But anyway, I have to tease and bother everybody here. It won't be a good night. I'm really glad to see the soccer travel teams here, club teams. It's great to have you. The girls this year won the 2019 Mid-New Jersey Soccer Association U11 Championship. And, you know, like every sport, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of time. I thank the members of the league who provide this for our children in Clark. I thank the coaches and team moms and the parents for the sacrifice you make. And boys and girls, believe it or not, mom and dad do make a lot of sacrifices to be at those games and practices and quick meals and running from one field to another. Believe me, I know, I've done it. So you should really appreciate what your parents are doing for you. They're giving you an opportunity. The soccer league, having a great facility for you to play at, and great teammates, and to have fun and learn from working together as a team. It means a lot. As the police chief just said, that's a team right there, these guys. They have to go out, and some nights they have to deal with some not so nice people. And they have to be a team to work together to make sure none of these men get hurt out there, or to make sure we don't get hurt. So teamwork starts right now at your age, and that's something, look, winning is great. Losing is not so good. We'd rather win. But at the end of the day, we'd rather learn from what we're doing. Be a good teammate. Be a good friend. That's the important things in life. So without further ado, I'm going to call up Coach Dave Garino. Dave, you can call these out, and I'll hand them out for you. And congratulations for you, Coach.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, and I think we have two more coaches, I believe.
Can I say a few words?
Yeah, I'm going to let you do that. I'm just going to bring her up, Stephanie Brito. Stephanie's here. Congratulations. Welcome. And this is the one I couldn't wait to give out. Coach Pedro Matos. Wow, look at that, Chief Coach. All right. He doesn't wear his gun on the sideline for the ref. No, he doesn't do that. Okay. Coach, take over, please.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you to the councilmen and women for allowing us to come here tonight and sharing our success. And while you're here, let me say a quick word about the importance of safety. Everything that you guys do to keep us safe day in, day out is amazing. I mean, we could send our kids to school, right? We could send our kids to the field and know that they're protected because you guys are so good at what you do, all the men and women of our police force. So they all deserve a round of applause for that. But Mayor Sal hit on the button. It's all about teamwork, right? And it's all about coming together. And what made this team amazing, Mayor, was that from the very beginning, they set out on a path of success. And that success wasn't built on personal accolades. It was built on working together and working with each other and being mesmerized by each other's success and learning from each other's failure. And we failed as a team, we succeeded as a team, and at the end we stood at the top. And I am ultra proud of these girls. They're amazing people, and you see many of your future leaders here today. So congratulations, girls. All right, Kayla Derima. Susie Pires. Am I stealing your job?
No,
by doing
no, I
this?
want
Okay.
you to do that.
Valentina Parrington.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Mia DePinho. Oh, I know this girl. Sienna Garino.
Oh, yeah.
Leah Morcino. Julia Latini. Isabella Matos. You're not seeing double. Maddie Morcino. Isabella Capadis. Samantha Walsh. Gabby Puerto Ferrero. Last but not least, Allison Norman.
Come on, girls, gather around. We're going to take a picture. We got our Clark Tap here to take a picture.
Come on this side, girl.
Yeah, come on that side. Spread out, both sides, okay? Come on in. Come on closer. Come up here, hon. Come right in. Come on, girls. Move down the end. Get up in front. You can kneel. You can stand. All right.
On 3, repeat. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Pleasure. Okay, girl. Thank you. Okay. Now on to the boys. Okay. We have our U13 boys team today, and they also won the 2019 Mid-New Jersey Soccer Association U13 Championship. Congratulations, boys. That's a great achievement. And we're happy to have you here tonight. We'll start off with bringing up Coach Rob Seaford. Rob? Coach, welcome. I'll call up your other coaches and turn it over to you. Coach Jonathan Stout. Jonathan? Must be in here. All right, we'll get to him. Call him up, though.
John?
John, it's got to be in there somewhere. Come on up, John. Hello, John.
Thanks for making me a coach.
Coach, if not, whatever. Hey, bring him along. We don't care. We're not here to fight. Okay, Coach, say a few words about your team, and we'll bring him up.
Not much of a speaker, but I'd just like to thank everybody for bringing us here to celebrate the great season we had, and good luck next year and moving forward. Hope to see you guys on the field and growing up as men, as I know you guys can be. All right?
All right.
Christian?
Stay right up here, and boys, both sides, you can go on.
Nick Decker?
Congratulations.
Nick Seifried?
Congratulations.
Nick Rad? Antonio Rafola? Matt Pimenta? Justin Purtis? He's not here.
Okay, you can just hold it and give it to me.
Okay. Kyle Gonzarowski?
There he is. What's up, Guns?
Ryan George?
Congratulations.
Ryan DeGrasse? Noah Stout? Robbie Stawinski? And I'd like to thank our two subs, Corey and Carson, that did come tonight. Our success would not be had without you guys. Thank you for coming.
Were they submitted on the list?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but check with me tomorrow, and I'll make sure you get certificates for that. Okay?
Yep.
Boys, two subs, I'll check in to see if you guys were on the list that we get. If not, we'll have them for you tomorrow and next day, okay? Because we want to honor everyone that helped. So come on in. That's quite a cruel paparazzi we got out there. Before the council president dismiss, I'd like to also, I didn't see Jim before the swearing in, but I'd like to welcome back our retired police captain, Jim Rapp. Jim, welcome back. At first, when I saw you, I thought the pension check didn't come and you were here to complain, but I guess you're here for the guy. So, council president, go right ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 2-minute recess. Anyone wishing to leave, you can do that. Dairy Queen is down the street, remember? Just want to say thank you and congratulations to all the recipients tonight. You had such a great season. Have a great and safe summer. Okay? Anyone want to leave, you can leave. Anyone wants to stay, the meeting will be back in 2 minutes. 2-minute recess.
Thank you.
fellas. Congratulations. Come back, win another one, play hard, all right? Good to see you, boys.
Then what, you gonna pass them out, put them away, or? It's a mute. Fucking boiling.
What's that?
It's a mute. It's boiling.
No, it's hot in here. New place, we even have air conditioning. Thank you. Thanks for coming tonight. Congratulations. Take care, folks. I'll see you, buddy. My man, my dance is here. Hey, listen, come here. Ready, press? I'm ready. Yeah, right here.
If we can clear the aisles and get the door closed, we'll go back into session. Thanks, guys. Bernadette, again, congratulations to you and your family. Best of health and safety.
Thank you. Okay, Bernadette. Take care, honey. Good to see you.
Okay, Chief, take care. Chief?
Chief?
Mayor wants to continue? I'm going to ask for a motion to resume the regular order of business. So moved. May I have a second, please? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? We're back in session. Mr. Mayor, the floor is yours for a presentation.
All righty. Well, you can see it up here, too, if they zoom it in, but you're more than welcome to do whatever you like, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, Clark, I'd like to present tonight to the community what we've been working pretty hard on for the last 10 or so months. And myself, our administrator, and our township council have pondered many different ideas about the building we're standing in tonight, which is the Clark Police Station and our courthouse and council chambers. I'm going to do a presentation to show you the condition of this building, and I will say it's kind of deplorable. And over the years, the town has had many needs, and we have tried to fill the needs in a fair manner. And now it's time to take care of our police station, our courthouse, our council chambers, and our court offices. I believe as mayor, we're going to be asking this town to spend more money in one project than I've spent in 19 years as mayor. It's $8.25 million estimated right now for the building, and that's before bid. When myself and this council embarks upon a journey that includes that kind of money, we feel it's only right and proper that you know why we're spending this kind of money. And to try to condense this and not be here all night, our administrator, John Lazen, and I decided that it was time to really repair this building. And we sent some contractors over to give us an idea of what kind of money we're looking at, because we can't do a project until we first appropriate the money that we need to do the project. That's a state law. And we had two contractors come through here, and after shaking their head and, wagging their finger at different things, they both came back to us and said they were at about $3 million and counting, and we would be better off to knock the building down and start again. In our conversation with these gentlemen, we asked, why do you feel that way? Of course. And they're at $3 million, and this building has been chopped over years. It's been numerous different things. It's been a firehouse, a police station, town hall at one time, and I guess there's a couple additions. If anybody's ever bought an old home or is into renovations, what you see is one thing. What you get when you open walls can be totally a different scenario. As a businessman, I also know that when you go out for bid and you open a wall and there's a problem, hypothetically, I like to think everyone's honorable, but I know better, a $30,000 project becomes a $60,000 project, because we're not going to stop the job and go out to bid that issue. So you're kind of at people's mercy, which I don't like to be. So we decided at $3 million and counting, plus another $1 million to house our police department in trailers, to move our communication center, to bring in a temporary trailer jail cell. We're looking at somewhere of $1 million. So we're at $4 million and counting. So John and I said, where are we going with this? So we wanted to, of course, bring in the people who appropriate the money in our community, which is the Township Council. We cannot do it without their support. So one day we called the chief over and we told him to go to Johnny's and get some graph paper and go home for the weekend and draw us what he would think he would like in a new police station. After all, a big part of this building is going to be police. And to the chief's credit, he went home and he drew up what he thought he would like. We met with the court officers to see what they would need and they would like, and thus we had a plan that we started to grow with. We went out for bid for architects. We hired Kevin Settabrino as our architect. Kevin does great work, along with the other architects we interviewed. The one thing I kind of liked about Kevin, he's a mayor and deputy mayor down in South Jersey. I believe it's Middletown. And I like that because he knows what we go through as a governing body when we're doing these kind of projects, what we have to answer to. And I kind of like that. So I think his personality gelled with ours, and it kind of worked. And we began to talk. And I got a compliment, of course, our chief of police, who's put a lot of hours into this, our, of course, business administrator, and myself. We have really taken the bull by the horns on this. And this is a project that is needed. When this first hit, I know an article on Facebook, one of the nice residents said, our police department deserves it. And you probably do, but that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing this on a basis of need. They need this. The town needs this. This building is, I guess, probably older than 60 years. I mean, we're sitting in the chambers tonight. The air conditioning is deplorable. We're sweating. It's hot. In the winter, it's cold. There's leaks. Wait till you see some pictures. And this is only what I've taken, a few pictures, but I felt you needed the explanation to see what we're doing. If you look right here, they gave me a laser pointer tonight, so I like this. But anyway, this is one of our jail cells. And by state law, it's out of compliance. The new jail cells today that are built, and we went down to Bayville to look at a new police station that was built, is police station will never have bars like this again, a jail cell. It's going to be solid door. It's handicap accessible. They make sure that no one can hang themselves in it, and they just want it to be, you know, very, very nice for our criminals that we bring in. So, you know how the snowflakes are in this state. They want to make sure they have a nice place to spend a few hours. But anyhow, down here you can see this is one of our Detective Bureau, how some of our office ceilings look with holes in them, tiles missing. Our next picture, I'm going to put up Chief thanks. I'll slide these to you and you can help me out there, buddy. Thank you. This next picture is in our boiler room, and you can see here in this boiler room we have different asbestos, and this is very old and antiquated system here in the boiler room for our police department. This next picture is the one that amazes me. This is the one on the right here, looks like a spaghetti factory, but that's actually a room in our building with all the wiring for phone services and electric. That's pretty tough. Right over here, it's a wall unit air conditioner, not efficient, doesn't have central air in the building whatsoever. This area here that's outside, you can see from the street, is the wall. It's a very, very thin layer of whatever it is, and it's very cold in the wintertime. Most all our offices here have space heaters. Thanks, Chief, for that. Have space heaters. And here's another picture of our boiler area with all different asbestos in here. Here's another area downstairs in a locker room with a rope hanging down from the ceiling. I don't know what that's for. I have no clue, but ceiling tiles missing. Pretty tough area. The next one, if you're eating dinner, put your plate down for a few minutes. This is in our basement locker room area, shower, and a commode, wall, the kind of work that needs to be done down there. I don't think anyone can argue with that picture. Here's another picture in one of our men's room that I'm not very proud to show the community this, but you got to see what we're spending on. You can see the condition of these bathrooms. They're original, and you know what it costs to fix a bathroom in your own home. Nonetheless, one here for the police department. So that's going to all go bye-bye. Next is our windows, single pane, original. They have problem closing. They have a bar here to hold this one open. You can literally stand here in the wintertime and feel the breeze blowing through. So, again, it's a situation that we're not so proud of. Now, here again, one more unit air. Again, very weak. These break down all the time. It's really unfitting for anybody that works in an office to have to deal with that. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building the new department directly behind this department. Why? Well, number one, think about it. We would need over another $1 million to put you guys in trailers, and we don't need to spend that money. We're going to be about 8 or 10 feet behind this building. As it's being built, the police department will be able to function and run their everyday operation. Once the building's completed, that's when all the hell will break loose, that we'll try to move everybody over as quickly and as timely as possible. This right here will be the new building. Here's the Clark Public Library. We've already built this parking lot out here because during the construction phase, no one's going to be allowed to park behind the building. It's going to be too unsafe. We're making provisions in the front of the building, so if people want to come up here for a council meeting or a court date, they're going to be able to come through, the men know where I'm talking about, by the Detective Bureau. So we got to spend some money to put in a temporary entrance in, because in the back, there's going to be construction going on, and it will be a, I don't want to say an unsafe condition, it'll be as safe as it possibly can, but we don't want people in droves, as you saw here tonight, or through our court dates, walking back there and getting hurt. So this will be the final layout of the new building, new parking lot out front. This will be where the public parks. In the back's going to be parking for the police department, their cars, the public library right over here. This is upside down. Okay, there it is. That's better. Well, it's almost the same thing. This out here being Westfield Avenue. Here's Westfield Avenue. Here's the new lot right here that we're going to have. It's right here, and then we're going to extend it forward, which will come right up to our new police station. And again, back here, we're going to have parking for police vehicles, and I think it should work out very nice. And then the finished product. I'm very proud of this. I took a lot of time on this. I was very insistent. I said to the chief, you design the inside, I'm taking the outside, and John Laser put up with both of us and try to work together on it, and he did his job. I did not want a state-of-the-art building with a lot of glass and slanted ceilings and that look that's out there. I believe police department should be distinctive looking. I believe it should be something that you're going to look out and say, wow, and that's including our courthouse, and the chambers inside the courthouse. And I think we came up with a design that I think I'm just in love with, and I hope everybody here in town is. That is going to be our new police station right there. It's going to be just a wonderful thing. The brick I've chosen is going to be an old brownish red brick. And what they do to get that brick is they tumble it. and everything's going to be included. We have a front here that I think is going to be very attractive. We even added in right there 2 lights that are going to say police on it, because we wanted a more of a colonial, old-time look to this building. And we're very excited to provide this for this community, our police department and our court offices. And I hope everyone understands one thing. In doing this project, we had to make some decisions, because, gentlemen, ladies, money just goes like water. We started out thinking about a 2 or 3-story building until we started getting some prices in, and that got cut every time the big price came back in. We talked about a basement. We didn't do either of that. This building is going to be a very nice building. It's going to serve our needs of this community. It's going to be something we all can be proud of. But I want to say this in a nice way. It's a no-frills building. It's going to be 15,000 square foot. It's a box. That's what it is, a big square building. In it, the chief believes we have enough room for our storage. Today, a lot of things going on computer, disk. It takes away a lot of the paper storage that we once had. It's going to be compliant with all state rules and regulations. Nowadays, when a police officer arrests someone, they bring them here to the building, to the side. They're in handcuffs. They bring them into the building. Today, state law doesn't allow that. They're going to be pulling into a sally port in the back, so we can't watch them do the perp walk anymore. It's going to be brought in, they close the door, they bring them out of the car, right into the booking room, which will be right off of there, and it's going to be all done that way. It meets all state requirements. Right now, we're working with so many agencies, they want to drive you nuts. The Department of Justice came in, they wanted to look at how our cells were going to be designed and if they were compliant, of course, and how we're going to do this. They gave us input. We had the people come in for the judge. Our judge nowadays needs his own separate entrance, private entrance in. Everything has to be secured and locked down. Metal detectors at the door, which we are doing now downstairs. But this is all part of state law, and I'm telling the citizens of town who really don't know all these things. When you're talking about adding multi-floors, an elevator is $350,000. A stairwell is about $150,000. So this is how everything adds up. This building here is probably just under 15,000 square foot, roughly, and chopped up. So we will be able to provide everything our police department and our courts need to run a functional building out of here. And we're very proud of what I'm doing tonight. The town council passed a vote at the June meeting to go out to bond. We are finishing up this project as we're speaking. We're hoping to go out to bid in mid-August, and we're hoping then to start breaking ground back here sometime mid or end of September. And they're talking anywhere from 14 to 16 months completion. We'll see how it goes. We are going to be on top of this project to make sure that everything, every nickel we bargain for is going to be done correctly, done the right way. Again, it's going to be a big undertaking that myself, John Leza, and our Chief Matos are going to do. We put a lot of time into this. I want to assure the community that this project is going to be the right thing for our community. And I know what everyone at home is thinking right now. What's going to happen to our taxes? Well, that's a good question, but we got that answer too tonight. And I think when we answer it, you're going to be quite amazed. I'm not going to take a bow on that. I'm going to take it to our Township Administrator, John Leza, who his fiscal, I'm sorry, Pete, here, take that one and this one. His fiscal prudence and putting us on the right track 19 years ago has really paid off, because today we're going to be able to do this project without killing the taxpayers in this town. And John is going to sit from his desk there and read over it, and I'm going to go through it and kind of point at, I hope they get a good shot at this at home. I'm going to also, to the citizens, have this on our website. We're going to have this stuff out in the middle of Town Hall, in the hallway, so you'll be able to come and look at it closer. If any citizen has any questions of this project, you're always more than welcome to ask myself or John anything you need to know about the part that you worry about, the financing. I get it. We get it. So, John, without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to you, and hopefully we get a good picture of this, and we can go over it with them. John?
Thank you, Mayor. Basically, capital projects are a continuing operation. For the last 19 years, we've probably spent over $25 million over the years because we spent anywhere between $1 and $3 million on roads every year. Some of it's offset by state aid. Most of it's paid for by the taxpayers in the community. This project now, I've lined it out that the mortgage that we have in our budgets each year is approximately $2.925 million. What we've done here is spread out till 2036 a capital program that will pay off $11 million of new debt because we're adding to the $8,250,000 about another $3 million that we had accumulated on road structures and other capital projects. When you do a capital project, it's necessary to have a life of anywhere from in excess of 5 years to 20 years. This project, we just had a few police officers going on a call, an emergency call. This project, till 2036, will maintain a mortgage of 2.925. So that means there's no increase in taxes from what they are now for debt service over the next 17 years. And in making it at 2.925 as a given, we will also have the ability to add on new capital projects that would be projected out to 2036 to maintain that. Now at 2036, I'll be 105 and my wife would like me to still be working, but I don't think we have that choice. But I think this project will maintain our capital debt service program for 17 years without an increase in taxes, but we'll maintain our mortgage. That's about it, Mayor.
I think it's an amazing job in financing by John to be able to take this kind of project in and maintain our debt service, which is our bonds that we use every year for building repair, road repair, equipment for DPW, fire, some for police, recreation, parks, playgrounds. This is the township debt. We are very, very under the number that Moody's allows us to bond. We are, and I'm very proud to say, the first administration that has come in through John's guidance, 19 years of, have paid down debt, not just paid interest. What we did not want to do was mortgage the future of Clark to do this project. So in our budget, we're going to maintain this $2.9 million throughout because debt has been paid off over the years, and we're going to continue to pay debt off. We're going to look for revenue streams to pay this down even sooner if possible. The other thing I'd like to say to the community is that not only are we going to be doing this police station and new parking lot, we are now going to be working on the side of the building next to the high school. When you come out of this parking lot or out of the high school during the day, there is a non-intersection in front of you. You're sitting here, Emerald Place is sitting over here. It doesn't line up. We're going to line them up. We feel it's much more safer for the community. We're going to be installing a traffic light there, which will also break the speed of traffic on this road. We haven't made a decision yet on if it's going to be a 24/7-day-a-week light, if it's going to be lit from, 6 a.m. in the morning to 9 p.m. at night and go on a blinker throughout the evening hours when road conditions calm down, we'll meet with our traffic department, our police chief, and our engineers to figure that out as we go forward. But we're also going to be clearing up that project in the middle of doing this project. So I think it's going to be much safer for the kids and the parents who leave the high school and our public safety building to be able to get out of here much safer in the future. So with that, I'm going to ask the council, is there any questions out of you right now? No? Okay. I'm done, and I'll turn it back over to you, Council President. And again, ladies and gentlemen, the community, anybody has any questions, feel free to ask us at any time. We're here to answer those questions, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your very informative presentation on the future of Clark. I'm going to now go up to council committees and council reports. Councilwoman Angela Albanese.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to give my library report and mention two events that are coming up. One is next Monday. It's a kids' summer reading kickoff program, and I think I mentioned that the statewide theme this year is on space. So this is going to be a night of Space Jam. There'll be a universe of stories with a Space Jam flavor, and there'll be a DJ with glow sticks, face painting, tattoos, raffles, and a craft. So sign up for the Summer Reading Challenge while you're there, and you'll have an opportunity to win some prizes. The following night, on Tuesday, June 25th, the Adult Summer Reading Kickoff occurs, and they'll have a trivia night on Tuesday. It'll be a Jeopardy format, trivia match. Questions are about the theme of the universe, and you can bring your own team, and there'll be prizes awarded at that event as well. This is open to teens and adults 13 and older, and there'll be 4 people on each team. And lastly, I just want to remind everyone that the library, I know it's summertime, looking for different day trips and activities. Don't forget the library has a variety of free passes available, and you can reserve them in advance, and then just check out the pass. And I'm not going to mention how many people are free, etc. I just want to mention some of the museums. One is the Brooklyn Botanical Garden, obviously in Brooklyn, New York. Also, we have the Morris Museum is available. We have, in addition to the Morris Museum, the Newark Museum and the Intrepid Sea and Air and Space Museum, that's also in New York. Then we have a pass for Imagine That, which is a great children's activity museum. I remember many times bringing my children to that museum. And then we also have the Stickley Museum pass, and also the Grounds for Sculpture, Hamilton Grounds for Sculpture, which has rotating demonstrations and displays. They have a great restaurant there. That's an outdoor museum as well. So hopefully you'll take advantage of those passes that are available. If there are museums that are not in your list of choices, you might want to check out some of the local libraries. You can join the Friends of the Library there and have access to their museum passes. I know that Cranford has the Guggenheim Museum, and it's a great savings. To spend $10, you can save quite a bit of money, and also Scotch Plains. And don't forget, as a Clark citizen who holds a library card, you have access to 23 other libraries. You can just walk into those libraries and check out any of the materials they have at those libraries, and they all have varying hours. So thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Albanese. Councilman Alvin Barr.
Thank you, Mr. President. The police dispatcher had the fire department respond to 50 calls last month. And when you realize these are volunteers and how many days in a month, they're quite active. Now also, speaking to the chief, we want to bring up to some people, I've been many calls, and where there's a gas smell or carbon monoxide, and the people tell me, well, I wasn't sure, I was a little hesitant whether I should call, and folks, don't ever hesitate to put in a call for the fire department if you feel there is any danger. Better be safe than sorry. And as I said, too many people were a little leery. This is what they're here for, this is what we do. So, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Stephen Hahn?
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the Clark Police Department monthly report for May. We saw a total of 2,548 calls for service, of which 111 were ambulance requests, 8 were fire department requests, 22 were motor vehicle and residential lockouts, 101 were alarm calls, 91 were motor vehicle accidents, and 2,202 were miscellaneous calls. There were a total of 31 adult arrests, including but not limited to 7 for theft, 8 for drug abuse, 1 for looting, 1 for simple assault, 3 for DUI, 1 for receiving stolen property, and 9 warrants. There are a total of 12 juvenile arrests during the month, which included but not limited to 1 for theft, 1 for harassment, 1 for drug abuse, and 5 offenses against the family. Of these, 1 was formally charged and 11 were in-house dispositions. Dispositions. That concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Hahn. Councilman Frank Mazzarella?
Yes, thank you, Council President. For this month, the bulky pickup appointment is required by Thursday, 3 p.m. prior to your area pickup week. Please email dpw@ourclark.com to schedule your pickup. Your bulky items need to be curbside by 6 a.m. Monday mornings. The not acceptable items are mattresses, box springs, toilets, construction material, appliances, metal, and electronics. TVs, computers, monitors, etc. are not part of bulky pickup and will not be picked up by our DPW forces. The following 4 weeks are June 17th, which is today for this week. That's the 3rd ward. The 4th ward is June 24th. The 1st ward is July 1st. And the 2nd ward is July 8th. Appliance and a metal pickup. Please schedule your appointments by Thursday prior to your pickup. You would schedule it through dpw@ourclark.com. Grass pickup is going good. Please have grass bags out by 6 a.m. Tuesday mornings. Please, only grass in the bags, no branches or bushes. Branch pickup starts Tuesday, June 24th. Electronic drop-off will be June 29th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Only acceptable items are desktops or personal computers, computer monitors, portable computers, desktop printers, desktop fax machines, DVD players, or television sold to a consumer. There is still free mulch available. Please contact dpw@ourclark.com to schedule a delivery. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman Mazzarella. Councilman O'Connor?
Thank you. From the Finance Department, Finance Committee, Mr. Leza has the town running in tip-top shape, and as you heard the mayor talk about, Mr. Leza's sharp pencil with the police station. Thank you, Mr. Leza. From the Department of Emergency Management, for the month of May, they continue spring maintenance for work on servicing our pieces of equipment in case they're needed during an emergency. They attended the New Jersey Emergency Preparedness Association Conference in Atlantic City, and they participated in the Memorial Day Parade, as well as 8 CERT members. From the emergency squad, the squad responded to 206 calls, and the average shoot time was 2 minutes and 28 seconds, and the average response time was just under 7 minutes. To date, the year-to-date calls were 742. They had EMS Week, May 19th through the 25th, and they wanted to thank the entire council and the mayor for the proclamation. The 2019 fund drive was recently sent out. Please support as best you can, and thank you for your support. And Mike Eastman was recognized as Outstanding EMS Provider by Overlook Hospital at EMS dinner held at the Galvin Hill Golf Course. And activities in supporting the communities, they were at the Troop 330 Eagle Scout Court of Honor, the 5K coverage at Oak Ridge Park, the monthly blood drive, and participated in the Township Memorial Day Parade. And they are looking for some volunteers to serve as drivers on the midnight to 6 a.m. shift. Anyone interested, please email membership@clarkems.org, or stop by any weeknight after 6. Thank you very much. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Councilman Bill Smith?
Thank you, Council President Toll. This evening, I have the Recreation and Pool Report. It's last call to register your children for the Clark Recreation Summer Program. If you're interested, please contact Ralph, and his phone number is 732-428-8400, or you can always stop by his office and fill out the forms in his office, or you can actually fill them out online as well this year. The camp is open to second-year pre-K students through 8th grade, and it begins Monday, July 1st, and ends on Thursday, August 8th. The cost is only $35, and that's an amazingly low amount of money for probably the best rec program in the state of New Jersey. So I'm looking forward to another great year with Ralph and the camp. Regarding the Clark Community Pool, we're still accepting applications for membership for the 2019 summer season. Pool is open every day beginning this week. It's half-day schedules this week, and starting Saturday, it'll be open full-time through Labor Day. If you're interested in joining the pool, you can fill out the registration by coming to the pool. There's forms there, or you can also go on to our website at ourclark.com under the Swim Pool Utility tab, and all the information you need is there. And if you have any questions, stop by the pool or contact Ralph Bernardo. And that's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Councilman Smith. Two things. This coming Thursday, July the 4th, not this Thursday, but July the 4th, 2019, will be the 48th anniversary of Patrolman William Watterson, Clark PD, was killed in the line of duty. I just always bring it up at the June meeting that the anniversary is coming up. Clark PBA 125 is having a memorial service at what time, Chief?
9 a.m. in front of the Veterans Memorial.
Veterans Memorial. That'll be in front of Brewer. It'll be held because of the parking lot. And I always go over to Billy's grave over in Fairview Cemetery in Westfield. Again, just bringing that up with the whole thing going on with our police department, our new beginnings, our new officers, and a new future police station. We also want to reflect on those who have gone before us and those who have served in the past. I'm going to go into thanking also to Al Barr for a wonderful parade and events for the Memorial Day. Al, I said thanks to you previously, but just in public forum. You did such a wonderful job showing this community how to honor our past as well as celebrating our present. Thank you, sir. Just going to go jump on now to ordinances, appropriations, and claims and payments of claims.
Thank you. I have reviewed the bills for the month totaling $431,111.73.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Nothing else on that. We're going to go to citizen hearing on the agenda. We're going to open this to the public. Anyone wishing to speak on any matter before on the agenda, please come forward, speak. You have a duration of 10 minutes. Anyone? Seeing no one come forward, may I have a motion to close?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Angela and Stephen. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. Resolutions, Madam Clerk.
First resolution is council as the ABC Board authorizing the annual renewal of alcoholic beverage licenses for the 2019-2020 term.
Okay,
I'll move that.
Number one.
I'd like to second that.
Okay, any discussion on this matter? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilman Barr.
Yes.
Councilman Hunt.
Yes.
Councilman Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Smith.
Yes.
Council President Toll.
Yes. Number two.
Number two is authorizing release of performance guarantees to Vincenzo Associates LLC for work performed at 1132 to 1136 Westfield Avenue.
May I have a motion, please?
Moved.
Councilman Barr, may I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion on this matter? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilwoman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilman Barr.
Yes.
Councilman Hunt.
Yes.
Councilman Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Smith.
Yes.
Council President Toll.
Yes. Number three.
3 is award of contract to S. Brothers Incorporated for the 2019 NJDOT road improvements to Meadow Road in the amount of $380,558.77.
May I have a motion, please?
I'll move this.
May I have a second?
I'll second that, please.
Is there any discussion on this matter before us? Hearing none, roll call?
Councilwoman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilman Barr.
Yes.
Councilman Hunt.
Yes.
Councilman Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Smith.
Yes.
Council President Toll.
Yes. Number four.
4 is approving change order number 1 in the amount of $154,038.33 for necessary additional work on the 2019 capital road improvements, increasing the total contract to $1,335,532.15.
Have a motion, please.
I'll move this as well.
Okay, Councilman Mazzarella, may I have a second?
I'll second that.
Councilman Smith, any discussion on this matter? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilman Barr.
Yes.
Councilman Hunt.
Yes.
Councilman Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Smith.
Yes.
Council President Toll.
Yes. Consent agenda resolutions, please.
Okay. Number 5 is authorizing the mayor to enter into a lease agreement with the Union County Educational Services Commission for use of the gyms in the municipal building from September 2019 through June 2020. 6 is authorizing the chief financial officer to refund overpayment of 2018 and 2019 sewer fees in the amount of $7,386.69. 7 is authorizing the chief financial officer to apply sewer account balance adjustments as credit in the amount of $16,596.80. 8 is authorizing the tax collector to refund overpayment of 2019 taxes in the amount of $9,690.75. 9 is authorizing the tax collector to settle a tax appeal for Block 142, Lot 3, as authorized by the Tax Court of New Jersey in the amount of $30,715.50. 10 is seeking approval of the Director of Division of Local Government Services for insertion of a special item of revenue in the amount of $31,351.97 for the Clean Communities Grant. 11 is appointing Donna Mazzucco as the alternate acting clerk as the need may arise until December 31st, 2019. And 12 is authorizing the mayor or business administrator and township clerk to execute the municipal approval statement for the installation of New Jersey Transit bus shelters at the bus stops near Clark Commons and Hyatt Hills.
Okay, I'm going to ask for a motion for the consent agenda to be adopted.
So moved.
May I have a second, please?
I'll second that, please.
Any discussion on this matter? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilman Barr.
Yes.
Councilman Hunt.
Yes.
Councilman Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Smith.
Yes.
Council President Toll.
Yes. I've seen no new business on the calendar. We go to public. Anyone wishing to speak to the council on any business before us or in your mind, please come forward, speak name, address, and duration of 10 minutes.
Good evening. Delia Collins, 72 Georgia Street, Clark. I wanted to bring up an issue that occurred today and has been occurring for the last few days on the Conrail lines behind Georgia Street. It appears that they're doing some work on the tracks, and in doing that work, they're removing debris, rocks, dirt, whatever, into the culvert, which is our quasi sewer behind there, and it's blocking the concrete drains. It's making mountains out of molehills behind there. It may possibly cause flooding behind there. That area was created for the prior flooding that occurred on Carolina Street through to Georgia Street back 30 years ago. I have pictures. I stayed on my back of my house, my yard, my neighbor's yards today, taking several photographs. I tried to address possible foreman of the area there today, and he did not speak with me. I tried to reach our contact that we had in the neighborhood with Conrail, but it seems that the line is no longer in use. I've lived in that area for over 50 years. I have never seen this done before. They're saying it's maintenance. I think it is destruction of our proper way for our area to maintain not flooding. We have a few concrete drains that are back there, and through my neighbor's yard and myself, there is a large concrete drain that comes all the way through Carolina Street, Grandview, Georgia Street, and then goes into the brook behind Access Self-Storage and Karnak. I don't know what they're doing over there because they have a big backhoe, I would assume huge. I have pictures of that. They were over there, and since I'm not permitted on that property, I could not see what they were doing near the stream and the brook behind there. There is wetlands behind there that is protected. I did call the DPW. I did call my councilman. I did call Conrail. I left a message for Conrail on their non-emergency line, telling them what's going on behind there, and the lack of any consideration for the residents of Georgia Street, Carolina Street, for any possible flooding that may occur. The piles of rocks, and I don't know what the other product is. It's rocks. It may look like asphalt. It may look like dirt. It's about maybe up to your hip, my hip. Okay? This will block any flow of any type of flooding back there to get to the drains where they have to go into the sewer that goes under the railroad. Okay? It started, I don't know the numbers of the houses, but they go like 100 and all the way down to the park. There's about 4 piles of this dirt. I have photographs and I have videos. I did call the DPW and was told that Scott McCabe would come out. I was told by Councilman O'Connor that he did go out and he spoke with the people at Conrail. I asked that he come look at the Georgia Street side. He did not come. He may have been busy. It was the end of the day, whatever. But again, 30 years of living there, they have never cleaned this area out. They have never requested anything. The town has never come out. I mean, the town has come out and seen what's wrong with it, but I can't do anything about it because it's Conrail, we were told. I'm very worried about what they may have done behind, near Hyatt Hills, because that is a brook, and you can't see it because the railroad ties are in front of it. They're still there. They're still bleeding through the soil with their carcinogenics, and I don't know if the brook can be is blocked by anything that they might be dumping in there, and I just, I can't get back there like I used to because I was told that I couldn't, and but I have photographs and I have videos. So it's very disturbing to see that happen. And they didn't touch the area where the sewer cap is behind our homes. They left that exposed. And but between the one neighbor next to me and 3 neighbors down, that is where the concrete drain is and where the opening is. It's about maybe, I don't know how round the drain is, but I'd say it's a quarter blocked and 3/4 open. So if any rain comes through, any storms comes through, it's all mud. It's all mud and rocks, and that's all you're going to get. So I thank you, and I hope that someone from Township or an engineer, or we've tried to contact Conrail, and I've left a message. And,
Delia, thank you. Scott McCabe's here. He reported to me earlier because first I heard about it when I came into Chambers tonight, and I'll have him follow up tomorrow on it. Do me a favor, let Scott speak on what he knows. Have a seat in the front because I want to talk to you about something else when you're done.
Okay.
I thought you were going to talk about PSE&G and Conrail, but you went to the other page, so I want to get back on.
I only have 10 minutes.
No, it's fine. Okay, no problem. I want to talk to you about something else. We did have a meeting for you. Scott, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Scott McCabe, DPW. Good morning, Ms. Collins. Afternoon, Ms. Collins. I was on the site today with Conrail. I was speaking to Councilman O'Connor and the Business Manager Secretary on the situation. What Conrail is doing, they are in the process of removing the rocks from the tracks and replacing them So whatever they're actually just lining up on the side. They do have a very large backhoe excavator in the area. The general foreman on the job promised me that at the end of every day, or as soon as that section of the project is done, the ravine that our water flows into will be clear. We did cut the grass like constantly been asked by Ms. Collins and some other neighbors back there. They took care of all the lawn, so everything's nice and well kept and maintained right now. There is no brook behind that property. It is a retention basin that the water would flow into when it rains. So right now, there's nothing in that retention basin. It's completely clear. Myself and my assistant, Pat Huffschneider, were out there today talking to Conrail. I did see Ms. Collins out there when I was on the other side of the tracks where the gentlemen were working. Right now, there's no implementing of any blockage of the trench or drainage system that's allowing the water to come off Carolina, Georgia Street, that whole section, to flow out to Central Avenue. So that's where we're at right now.
But do me a favor, Scott, just follow up on it daily to make sure when they're done, everything is open, we don't have any flooding problem. That's my biggest concern, to make sure. Please follow up on it and let me know, and let John also know, so we can follow this on, until they scoot down the tracks further into Cranford.
That is not a problem.
All right, thank you, sir.
They're out there.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Am I able to ask him a question?
Hey, if you want, sure.
You went on the...
Go up front, go up front. Stay up there. Just so they can hear you answer.
So you went on the other side of the track by Hyatt Hills?
Correct.
Okay, you didn't come over to our side where
I
the,
didn't need to.
well,
I
that's
seen you
what,
standing outside.
well, that's where all the mud and,
Very
They're
well.
gonna clear it though, Dilly. You said that they're gonna open everything
oh,
up.
I know you are, you've helped a lot, but I'm just saying,
I was there, I seen the 2 piles.
there's
and
4 piles.
I've seen the pile of debris in the ravine, and I was told by them that it will be removed.
Well, I would like you to see my video,
It's their property.
but it's our houses, our land, our flooding.
Dilly, with all
Our
due respect
overflowing.
here, I think we're all in agreement that he's gonna make sure that stays open for you. I've given him that directive right here on TV in front of you tonight, and I know Scott well enough to know that he'll be back there to make sure that that's all open so we don't have any flooding. So I think we're all in agreement. He's gonna watch that for you.
Right, but there's been flooding back there without all that, down the street.
Yeah, I understand, honey, it's Conrail property, I mean, I
No,
can't
but it's
do
in these,
much.
it's in people's yards that we flood.
But lately, there's flooding in everybody's yard, believe me, the way it's raining, but, no, whatever we can do, he's gonna do for you. We get it, we don't want you to drown back there with, water.
So in other words, they're telling you all the debris that they're pulling up and leaving behind our homes is gonna be removed.
Yes, that's what they're telling me. It's going,
Okay.
and they have the same standard that we have. You leave it better, the same or better than what you found it.
And did you happen to go by back where the brook is?
The retention basin, it's bone dry. There's nothing back, there's nothing in there.
Well, what are they doing back there with that big hoe?
That's, the big hose gonna remove all the debris that
Oh,
you're
thank
looking
God.
at.
Yeah, because there's railroad ties in there's couches, there's concrete, there's everything.
Maybe citizens for those.
Huh?
Those couches don't get there by...
Right, but I'm just saying they've been there 15, 20 years, you know, and it's just, we've had flooding before, you know that, on Georgia Street. We had flooding last
Of course, in the
fall.
low-lying area, we have lots of flooding.
Right, but if we were the first ward, we would be being taken care of a little bit better.
No,
it's not fair. Absolutely not.
You
can't say that.
Time out, excuse me. I've always listened to you. We've tried to help you. We treat everyone equal here. You have, as we say in Italian, the stanzines with it means your stomach's twisting with Conrail. Anytime something goes on
No,
back
it's
there,
that I
Delia,
can't...
you're the only person
At night,
in...
they're there till 7 o'clock at night, they're there at 7.
Delia, I understand that you and I have been through this for 19 years. You're the only person on Georgia Street that goes wild every time something's done on Conrail.
Because it-
Wait, hon, please, I'm not here to argue.
don't wanna hear-
No, Delia, let me finish, and then I have a report. I had a meeting for you. John and I had a meeting for you, and I want to get to that, because I know this is bothering you. So just 1 second. I'm not trying to be confrontational. I'm trying to explain to you.
But every time I come up here and bring a problem up about our area, it's like, well, it's Conrail's property.
But
But
you
it's not-
understand there's certain things that they have as the trains are under federal laws, and, anything we can do, we've always tried to help, and I'll deny, I'll say you're wrong if you say we didn't try to help. You asked about power lines. John and I had a meeting the other day, so we can report back to you tonight on
You
what's
should be
going on.
reporting to the people of Clark. That's not
We're
me.
doing that, but you come up and ask the question, so I kind of feel obligated to
Okay.
tell you. I
Thank
think it's a
you.
respect thing. I mean,
Yeah.
you're right. I tell the people of Clark, but you came to the meeting, you have concerns. I said, hey, John, let's try to get with this guy before the next meeting, because you come to all the meetings, and that's great, you do, and you ask some good questions. We have no problem with any of that, but I wanted to make sure we had something. I don't know if you're going to like it or not, but we had something to tell you on that. Scott is going to be there. All I can tell you until let's put it this way. I'm going to take Conrail at their word that they're going to clean those ravines and do things right. And if they don't, I go get him, because he works for me. And I just gave him the job of making sure that it's done the right way for you and the rest of the citizens up on Georgia Street. That's what we're doing it for. We're not trying to be
But there's still, the railroad ties are still
Delia,
there.
they do that. They have a right to do that. I don't know what else to tell you on that. I don't know who to call or what to do. We've talked to them. I drove out there last year when they had those or 2 years ago, when they had those big piles. You reported to us on that. I spoke to them personally. I went back there, drove on the side there. We all try to do the best we can. I live down the road from a stinking reservoir that stinks, and I'm trying to get the county to dredge it. But what am I going to do? Every time something goes on, it goes on. I can't stop everything. If I had direct control for you, I would make sure you're satisfied by tomorrow, 4 o'clock. But we have to go through Conrail to make sure they hopefully satisfy us and you and the rest of the citizens back there. We're not trying to be argumentative, just realistic. That's all.
But when I see other towns get things done with
Other
Conrail...
towns will not get more than we get done. There's a lot of towns barking about these high voltage wires.
No, I'm talking about the train. I'm not talking about...
What haven't we done?
No, we've got the trains to stop blowing the horn. I agree with that. But Westfield had them stop before we did. Edison had them stop before we did.
I think it was close to that time. We had to work with Westfield because the train tracks are technically where the crossing is, but down the terminal area, that's Westfield's property.
Right.
So Westfield, and Councilman Navarchik was alive at the time, he and I remember working distinctively with Westfield, but they had to carry the ball. We were the secondary player in that process because the tracks were in Westfield. We passed resolutions up here of council way back in those days when Pete Navarchik was the second ward councilman. We brought him into Westfield. We looked to assist. It's like right now with the Walnut Avenue project. It's in Cranford. We as a township have talked to Cranford. We are on the ready to assist any way we can. We did that way back when. We passed township petitions. We do what we can. When the ball is in my court where I can go after it, make the decision, I've done it. And I've done it for 23 years up here, time and time and time again. And I'll put my record against anybody in this community. But when it's in another town, we become the secondary role. We try to do anything. You have a complaint on Conrail, we try to help you. But it's not under our jurisdiction, so we got to call that one, we got to call this one, we're going to find out about this one, can we do this? It's a rigmarole. I'm the first to admit it for you. I wish there was a pothole, I can have it fixed for you like that. Or a tree trim, I can have it done for you like that. It's Conrail. Now, any other questions on that?
No.
Okay, great. And we'll work with you on it, so you know where you can find me, I'm not hard to find. Now, on your, you asked the questions about the high voltage wires. You brought that up. If I may, Mr. President.
Please.
Because John and I had a meeting with a PSE&G Regional Public Affairs Manager, Mr. Michael Coyle, the other day. And we talked to him, Delia, about, I don't want rumor, I don't want rumor, I want fact, I want to know what's going on. And accordingly to him, they have asked Conrail for permission to come down the railroad tracks, okay? They showed us a map of, out in Fanwood, there's a substation about running these very, very high poles and high voltage down Fanwood, through Westfield, into Cranford, and it all goes to the Aldine station, which is on the Roselle-Cranford border. And he showed us that map. He said to us at this time, he said, we are not 100% sure, but we are working to, trying to reroute that. Okay, where are you rerouting it to? He said, we want to reroute it down the railroad tracks. I said, well, that takes into consideration Dakota Street, Picton, and Georgia Street that are abutted, in Carolina also, but the ones that abut that are Picton, Dakota, and Georgia. And I said, what are you going to be doing, or what are you proposing? And he basically said that they have to go to the Board of Public Utilities to get these type things approved. All utility companies with major projects go to the Board of Public Utilities. They're the authority that watches out for our citizenry to make sure what they're doing is proper, et cetera, and so on. He said if they came down the railroad in Bacchio, they would, the new poles would be about 60 to 65 feet in the air. The new ones the old ones that are there now are 40 to 45 feet in the air. I said, well, we know in other communities, it was reported to us by one of our citizens, that they're putting like 120-foot poles up. And he said in some areas they are, but they wouldn't have to do that if they ran down the tracks. They also said that if they do, because it's not etched in stone yet, if they do go down the tracks, they may be able to hook to the poles that are there. They may not, may is the key word, may not have to do it, but they're doing an engineering study. And they show that Fanwood, where the easement is, where those wires are in Fanwood, comes down to the Ashbrook Reservation, which then will cut down through Scotch Plains, Westfield, into Clark, into Cranford, and they want to put a, they want to buy 6 acres of the 750 Walnut, where the proposed apartments are, and they want to buy 6 acres there to put in another power substation. I asked what the reason is for these high voltage wires, why are you doing them? And it basically becomes down to reliability. There's 3 circuits in every station, and when a circuit or 2 go down, they want to make sure they have the voltage to be able, I guess, keep people with their lights on versus having power outages. And I know we told them we believe those poles that are so high are unsightly, and he understood that. He was very cooperative, and he's going to continue to give us information and update us as the project continues to what they're finally going to do. Like I said, there will not be 120-foot poles in the back of your house. If there are poles back there, they're going to be about 60 to 65 feet, about 20 foot higher than what's there now. And he said, but that's not including, they may be able to hook right up to those poles with the other voltage if they do it. They're doing an engineering study at this point. So John and I met with him for about 45 minutes. We thanked him for his time. They're going to be upgrading stations throughout our county to have better service for the customer, and they're going to let us know as they know more, because Conrail did give them permission to do a feasibility study back there to see if that area is the area that they want to do this work on, and then they would go to the Board of Public Utilities to get permission to do so. So that's what we have for you this fall.
Basically, further, the problem with the whole project is that PSA&G has to work with Conrail. The trains, there are 6 trains that runs, every 2 hours a train runs on that line. To them to work on the lines, they'd like to work on the tracks, but they can't keep jumping off the track every 2 hours when another train is coming through. So they have to work out a program with Conrail to make this all happen. Along the line presently in Cranford at 750 Walnut, there's a power line that's 120 feet. They will be hooking up to that line. There are a number of 120-foot lines along Conrail, so they'd have to add this additional voltage for the other areas. But they will not be going up to the 120-foot lines. They will just going up to lines that will tie into those 120-foot lines. This is not a project that'll be done overnight. So it's a project that'll take the lines that are being complained about by Cranford off of the local streets. It'll take the lines in all the towns on the local streets. Houses that live along the railroad have always lived along the railroad. If I were a real estate guy, I would never sell houses along the railroad, but that's only me, because they only cause problems to everyone.
Sure.
When you met with the gentleman from PSE&G, the last time when we were at one of the meetings, it was brought up that there was a possibility that they would be adding more poles, not working with, this was just
Possibly, you're
Possibly,
right.
yeah.
They could, they're doing the feasibility study to see if they can hook to the poles that are there. They're looking at that. If not, he said, they would put more poles in, but they wouldn't be 120 feet in height, they would be like 60, 65 feet
similar
in
to
height.
what's there.
Similar, a little bit taller, a little bit taller.
Probably
Yeah.
use the same pole.
They're trying to.
Yeah, because there's, like I said, there's only maybe 4 to 6 on our side from Central to the Cranford border, and there is, I'm assuming that they are aware that there are wetlands back there between the Hyatt Hills Golf Course and the tracks that are protected, because that's why Hyatt Hills couldn't.
Well, wetlands, but they're protected, yeah, you're right, until you make application down at DEP.
Right, well, that has to
not
be
So
approved.
well, that's the thing. Anything they do back there, they have to go through all those protocols.
Right, but what I was wondering with the protected wetlands, because it is wet back there, I guarantee it's
Oh, I
wet.
know, I'm sure.
I just worry about with the construction of whatever they're going to be putting up, if they do go proceed with that, will there, well, that's down the line, so, it's just, it seems, what bothers me is that one woman had wrote that, the people in Cranford and Westfield, I shouldn't even bring it up, it's just a comment that was made that I feel that, our lives along the railroad tracks are not as important as the lives on certain areas of Westfield and Cranford, that, we're going to be exposed to whatever may come out of that. And when I brought it up in one of my comments about the recreation field in Westfield, St. Helens Church, the 2 schools that are, the 2 private schools that are over there on Lambert's Mill Road, and, it was like, well, you just live with it, and...
Well, we asked the gentleman about any problems health-wise with these wires. And look, he's not going to tell us yes, of course, he said no, absolutely, I'm going to take him at his word. But I also believe in today's world, with all the state regulations, federal regulations on all this stuff that's going on out there, I don't think they're going to put the stuff in they put in 50, 60, 100 years ago, which very could have back then had cancer-causing agents to it. I think we're in a society today of such, technique and study that they'll be able to put wires in back there that are going to hurt. What you're saying about the comment you read, Delia, remember one thing. I learned this when I first became a councilman. Long as it's not in my backyard or front yard. See the person who made the comment in wherever she was from, if it was in front of her house, she'd be screaming bloody murder. If it's down the road, they say, down the road, not my
No, she was
problem.
in our defense, saying that we are residents, we pay taxes, and...
You do, but unfortunately, there's certain things that we as residents, taxpayers, and the governing body really can't do much about, and utility is usually one of them. Not in every single instance, but if they want to run a water main, they're going to run it. If they want to run a gas main, they're going to run it. It basically comes down to that. I know a lot of towns, when this stuff happens, they like to posture. They like to stand up and, throw themselves in front of the bulldozer and not me, not me. I never played that game with this town, and I will not. I'm going to tell you what I think we can do or not do, and try to work with it. If there was a way to fight this off, I'd be glad to do it for you. Honestly, can I be honest with you? You're not going to like what I got to say, but I talked to the chief about it. What they're proposing makes more sense than going down South Avenue.
Oh, I know it does,
So that's
but
why,
it's
like,
not
you
your
know,
backyard.
Right, no, I know, I mean, it's in our backyard. As a mayor, it's in my backyard, because if it's in your backyard, there's a problem, it's in my backyard then. Same with the council people here. But the bottom line is, it's like, what would you do? Put 120-foot poles up in front of someone's house, or put them in a wooded area along a railroad? And although your house is there, I get it, I agree. When that train whistle used to blow, used to tick me off, because it always happened about 10 to 11 at night, right when the punchline came on. I was
Yes.
sitting on my
agree.
porch, enjoying the show, and it was like crazy. So, I mean, we fought that, but how many years did that take? It took forever. So
But,
we're going to
people
go-
have said to us, well, you live by the railroad, but when we moved in there, it wasn't that way. There wasn't, and the cell towers there, the pipelines there, the electric,
I know.
yeah, but it's back, it was,
No, I agree with you. It was different. Everything was different.
Yeah.
Traffic is different. I have people say, there's a lot of traffic. You're right, there is. And there's a lot of traffic in Cranford, Westfield, Scott Springs, Rahway, Linden, Rosa. It's all over Union County. What do you guys want me to do? You want me to put an upper level onto Raritan Road? Have an upper, lower level? I mean, what can we do? I mean, sometimes it just is what it is, and, there's not a lot we can do about it. But John and I have his number. He's a really nice guy. He's going to get back to us on updates along the way. So anything we get, we'll be bringing to you.
okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Delia, for your time tonight. Anyone else wishing to speak before the town council? Anyone else wishing to speak? Please come forward. How are you? Name and address.
Huh?
You're the best. Thank you.
All right, I have that on record. It's on record. This is awesome. I may never leave now. No, just kidding. Elizabeth Klee, 107 Ivy Street, Clark.
Fourth Ward.
Obviously. Huh?
Fourth Ward.
Yes, yes. So hopefully I'll lighten it up a little bit for you now.
Thank you.
All right? So I'm stepping up here tonight because more as the publisher of Tappan and Clark, and even though I'm a citizen, you're stuck with me that way too. I'm stepping up because I wanted to sort of say a thank you to the community, and I know I have a way to do that through my website, but I kind of thought this is a great way to do it too. And I'm doing that because whether you guys know it or not, I just celebrated my 5th anniversary with TAP. So it's been 5 years already.
Fine job.
5 years you've been stuck with me, see that? And I just wanted to say that, you know what, I've had 5 years of meeting people, building relationships, making connections, telling the stories of our local heroes, sharing the pain and heartbreak and loss of some people, and 5 years of explaining some of the things that go on right here, so that people can understand what's coming in the community, and try to put it in words people can understand. Always grab some great quotes from the mayor. People love those. Keep them coming back. They're good for hits. During that time, I've come to know and learn a few things. So I thought in honor of my 5 years, I would share 5 things I learned about Clark. So the first one is Clark's a small town with a whole lot going on. So I'm not a native of Clark, and I'm not actually even a native of New Jersey, so try not to hold that against me. I found my way here through a series of career changes and moves with my husband. And we've lived here now for 18 years, and both of us are involved in a whole bunch of community organizations, but I gotta say, I thought I knew a lot about the town until I started doing this. Then I realized how much I really didn't know, and I didn't really appreciate it, how much goes on in a town of less than 16,000 people. It's pretty incredible. There's a whole lot going on here, and there's never been a shortage of stuff to share. The second thing I've learned, this will be warm in your heart, is that Clark has got a whole lot of history for a small town, and I'm sure nobody knows the textbook history better than President Toll, but I would say that I've learned sort of a little bit about different kind of history. And what I mean is, I almost feel like sometimes I'm playing 6 Degrees of Clark, like, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Like, it's really amazing to me that there's this other history of families that are connected and then connected in other towns. It's been really a lot of fun. Yeah, we can talk sometime.
Yeah.
Third thing I've learned is that Clark has got some amazing moxie and a lot of grit. And what I mean by that is when you're covering the news in the town that you live in and you're trying to raise your kids here too, it has its pluses and minuses, and I'm still here, so that goes to show you that there's a lot more pluses than minuses. But occasionally, I do have to report on some things that don't present maybe a leader or a resident in their best light, or a situation that comes up in the town that maybe doesn't make our community look the best, and that's not always so easy. But what always gets me every time that happens is the collective fortitude of the people in this town. Never ceases to amaze me that there's always somebody in those situations weighing in with that voice of reason to keep the community tightly woven together in the wake of any kind of controversy. So I really enjoyed learning that about our town. Fourth thing I noticed, and I really learned, is that, and I hope people will take this to heart that are listening, our readers, that if it wasn't for the local businesses that choose to tell me their stories, that let me share their business news and advertise their services, local journalism would be dead in our town and in a lot of towns. So rumors and hearsay, we all see them all day long on social media. We've seen those great, I like to call them keyboard cowboys, that get on there and spread rumors, jump on a post, add fuel to fire that's not really there.
Stir the pot.
Yes, big spoon. And I've learned that reporting the actual news obviously requires work, and it requires showing up and building relationships, and I'm thrilled to have been able to do that. There really aren't any other media news outlets around here unless there's a crisis, and I'm glad to say that I get to be here for the good stuff, and unfortunately have to report on the bad stuff too. But if it wasn't for our local businesses supporting what I do, I wouldn't be here, and neither would any other taps that you know in the neighborhoods that some of you probably travel through as well. Finally, I think the most amazing thing is I have learned that there's so much support. This is the fifth and final thing, I promise. So much support for what I do here that it makes all the lost sleep and the fact that I really don't have any solid hours of off duty, like any moment I could have to do something, and the endless streams of texts, emails, calls, messages, and my most favorite, all the stops in every aisle of every store that I go in. It makes it all worth it. It really does. The support started with my husband, who backed the decision and sort of coached me to get ready to be criticized publicly on a regular basis. I'm sure you all get that on a regular basis, too.
Never.
Never? I'm doing something like that, because I'm getting it a lot. My children have learned, too, that, you know what, sometimes plans get delayed because Mom's got to cover breaking news. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the friends, neighbors, co-workers, and other people who are on this crazy trip with me that have kept me going. And then the last people I want to thank, really, it has to do with the township. Like so many divisions of the township that have made themselves available to provide clarity, support, materials whenever I've asked for them, so I can always provide a thorough story to our readers. I'm going to attempt to name everybody, and if I forget somebody, please forgive me now. But really, from the mayor's office to the BA, to the town clerk, the entire council, the staff of everyone at Town Hall, the police chief, the fire chief, all their officers and members, the superintendent, the board of ed, principals, teachers, support staff, the rec department, the library, everyone. I mean, I can't find a person in this town who isn't willing to get the news out. And I think my most favorite thing is that I love that a lot of you reach out to me first and say, let's get this story out there now. Let's get it out there the right way so everyone hears it from us with the facts instead of people speculating on social media. So thank you. I feel blessed, I'm humble, and I'm grateful for the support of this town. So,
Liz,
to the next years.
Liz,
Yeah.
Liz, I'm just going to say this to you. Our community is blessed because of your family, and I've gotten to know you and your husband and your kids from campaigning the last election. But
We let them in our house.
yeah, they did. Actually, number one. But I just want to say, this community is blessed for everything, not just you, but your family does in being part of our community. You are so loved in that neighborhood of Ivy, Gertrude, and all, and we appreciate everything you give into our community as one of our special hearts, and thank you.
Mr. President, if I
Yes,
may. Liz, I
please.
remember prior to the start 5 years ago, you and Susan came to my office to introduce yourself to me and talk to me and about what you're going to be doing in the community, and it was our first electronic media source we had. And I really wasn't sure what that was going to be like, because I never saw it before. And I remember just saying to you, Liz, all I asked from you and Susan at the time is just please be fair and report it the way it's supposed to be reported. We're not asking for favoritism, we're not asking for anything, and you said we would not do that, we're going to report it. I think the success of your work for the past 5 years is because you do report what's going on in Clark. You're not digging, looking for some angle. You're not weighing into the nonsense you might hear from detractors. You take a story, you write what you hear, what you see, what you know, and it comes across fair, balanced, and honest. I can honestly say I don't think I've ever saw a story you've done about anything or anybody in this town that you were going after somebody. You were reporting what you see. We are blessed, I know the chief feels this way, and I feel this way. At times when there is a police action or fire, or even with DPW storms, we're able to pick up the phone and call you, and literally within the hour, there's a story out. And then today with Facebook and social media and emailing, if you don't know what's going on in Clark and you own a cellular device, shame on you, because she's reporting it. She's reporting it, and it's our meetings, good events, sad things that happen, you're always there. So I got to personally say, number one, as a mayor, thank you for being so fair, and B, as a person, thanks for being a friend and doing a great job in the community, and I mean that. So thank you.
I think everybody wants to go home, so good night.
Okay. Thank you very much, Liz. Anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing no one else wishing to speak from the public, going to ask for a motion to close.
Moved. I'll second that.
Councilman Hunt and Councilman Smith, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, and we go to Mr. Mayor.
Yes, President, I'll be real quick. Number one, when we did the park over at Brewer where Angels play, the Caitlin and Jim Nelson Park, DPW dug a lot of fill dirt out of there. Scott, I think you might be doing this for you. If anybody needs some pretty clean fill dirt delivered to their home free of charge, we're glad to get rid of it. So call Scott, DPW, and he'll get it over to you. Also, I want to congratulate all the graduates from preschool right up to college graduation. Congratulations on your next promotion in the world of education. Keep on learning. This week, I'd like to congratulate Chief Betos. His son will be graduating from the Magnet School. Councilman Hunt, his son will be graduating from Johnson this week. I look forward to seeing that happen. It's going to be a great night. With that happening, ladies and gentlemen of the community, we need to make sure our children stay safe. House parties for underage drinking is not a legal thing to do in town. I'm not trying to tell you how to raise your children. I say this for 19 years, and I'm going to say it again. I wouldn't ask you to tell me how to raise my children. I'm just going to say one thing. Underage drinking, the drinking age is 21. The driving age is 17. Do you let your 14-year-old drive your car around the street? So why let your 17-year-old sit there and get drunk? It doesn't make sense to me. Please, for that reason, not trying to tell you how to raise your child, I don't want to have to show up at any wakes for a young man or young lady who are supposed to be celebrating the time of their life. We had it here many years ago. Councilman Toll, Councilman O'Connor, and I grew up here in the 70s and 80s. There was motor vehicle fatalities after high school graduation. Please, we don't want to go through that again. Have a great time, do it safe, do it sober, and we are there for you. Fireworks on the 4th of July, they'll be going up somewhere around 9:15, 9:30, depending on the darkness of the sky that night. Please come out and have a good time with that. Summer recreation will be starting soon. When it starts, the parking will be at the high school like it was last year. It turned out to be very safe. We're sorry if we inconvenience people to walk a few feet more, but it's much safer for everyone, and first and foremost, those little children you're holding hands with crossing that street. We want everyone to come to the best rec program in the state of New Jersey, bar none, and go home and have a good time and be safe. That concludes my report. Enjoy the summer, enjoy vacation, and we'll be back here in July. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to go to council members now, and Councilwoman Angel Albanese.
Thank you. Liz, when I thought you said you were going to lighten things up, I thought you were going to tell us about Uber's new flying delivery service, which will take care of all of our traffic problems that we have. So let's see what the future brings. Well, I'll just go back to Liz. Thank you. Congratulations for your 5 years. Doing a great job reporting. And instead of people turning to our website, they could always turn back to you. I do feel bad that those that don't have electronic access to get that. I also want to thank you for your involvement with the Chamber of Commerce, getting those businesses that are interested in our town involved, and you've been a tremendous asset in every meeting that I've been involved with that group. Congratulations to our 2 new officers, Brandon McKinnon and Brendan Jacoby. It's great to have some folks from town being given those opportunities. Also want to congratulate our young ladies and gentlemen for their teamwork and commitment. As the mayor said, it really takes a lot of teamwork and commitment to get the successes they've had, and it was a pleasure to see them here tonight. Thanks also to the mayor and to John. Great presentation. The pictures that you showed with that Greco-Roman look really is a beautiful, I think, beautiful looking structure. And in particular, thanks to John for explaining how we're going to finance that going forward. And I think that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Alvin Barr.
Thank you, Mr. President. Actually, I have an undesirable problem. Thank you. An undesirable problem, which I will turn over to Councilman Mazzarella, because he's involved with the RBSA, and he's going to give you certain answers. Saturday, I had a lot of my residents on my street coming over and saying they were very upset. There was sewage coming into their houses, including mine, and we have a great DPW because I spoke to Scott very quickly. They were there, worked on it, and did clear the problem, but I just want to turn it over because they kind of told me some of the problems, and we have to listen to this. Councilman Mazzarella?
On sewer backups?
Yeah.
Well, it's a never-ending problem. Sewers are supposed to be designed to self-clean themselves. However, depending upon what you put in the sewer, what you flush down the toilet, that can cause backups. Grease. So there's a number of factors. The idea that our DPW went out there to free the blockage, which is not uncommon in any community, is a plus because they got it freed and everything. Scott, is everything okay now? Everything's flowing correctly?
Proper flow?
Yeah. So, it's an issue that all homeowners face. And all communities face. Sometimes, depending upon if you put baby wipes, a lot of baby wipes, sanitary napkins, a lot of things that go into the sewer system that can cause backups and clogs and all of that. And Scott?
Yes, please, Scott.
Sorry for the interruption, just something real quick on what's going on, and I've talked to the BA about it a few times. We are having a major problem with what they call flushable wipes.
Mm-hmm.
Flushable wipes are technically not flushable.
Right.
They don't biodegrade, they stay solid, they're woven material. They're wreaking havoc on our pump stations and doing a lot of damage. They do not belong in the sanitary sewers.
Right.
Unfortunately for Councilman Barr, whatever you put in your toilet eventually comes out somewhere.
That's right.
We had packing peanuts and flushable
Well, let's
wipes.
go easy now, Scotty boy.
Like Amazon, those styrofoam peanuts,
Oh,
that was in the sewer system.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was another kind.
That was being serious with that woman. But how, people have to flush that or put it into the sewer system in order for it to back up. We really need to have our residents a little more mindful of what they're flushing down the toilets or any drain. And that's my biggest problem with the FOGs, grease, and infiltration and stuff like that.
So we got flushable wipes on false advertisement.
Actually, I don't want to be misquoted, but I've read a few articles that New York City Sanitation Department is under sort of different lawsuits with Procter & Gamble and stuff like that, because they're actually not flushable. They don't decompose and fall apart like toilet paper would.
Okay.
So they flush, they don't transport the way they're supposed to. And I'm sure Rhode Island has the same problem.
Sanitary, these, people don't understand, the stormwater sewers are the catch basins in the street that catch your rain runoff. The sanitary lines are what you put down your toilet and down your drains.
Your regular drains.
And what you put down there is what goes into those pipes that helps it clog. That's why we have a grease trap ordinance for our restaurants, because years ago, they were dumping grease down into the thing. And remember how many times, Scott, you came to me, said there was literally a 3-foot ball of grease blocking it, and DPW had to break it and break it and break it till it disintegrated. So if you want to help yourself, watch what you're dumping into your drains and toilet.
That's the big thing. You're either going to affect yourself or your neighbors downstream.
All right, thanks, bud.
Thank you very much, Scott.
I just want to make one more comment on that.
Yes, please.
It goes back to what Councilman Mazzarella said about grease. I mean, the foods that people eat, people are eating a tremendous amount of soy oil. The content of soy oil in food has gone up tremendously with processed foods. And that is, I believe, one of the big parts about that's having problems in the sewers.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Going to go back. Anything else? Councilman Hunt?
Mr. President, I don't have anything to say. Councilwoman Albanese took all of my thoughts. So
There she goes again.
with that, I'll just pass.
Sorry. Got to go to Councilman Mazzarella. Any continuation?
Yeah,
or
just,
any add-ons?
I think, Al, also, a resident awareness, homeowner awareness, knowing that they can't just throw anything or flush anything down the toilet bowl, like plastic bags and like Scott said, the styrofoam peanuts. Unfortunately, a lot of people think the sewer system's out of sight, out of mind. They just flush it and it's gone forever. That's not so, because it'll back up someplace. With that, great job on the parade, Al. And congratulations to the 2 new police officers that were hired and were sworn in this evening. Until next month, be safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Pat O'Connor?
Thank you very much. The mayor covered a lot, and by the time we get down to this end of the dais, pretty much everything's been covered, so I won't beat a dead horse. But you did get a day in the life of DPW today. I mean, you see what Scott goes through. It's just not, hey, when's bulky pickup, or when is grass collection. Again, we always thank DPW, and now you get a little insight as to why and what they do. And again, it's only a small little smidgen of what they do, but they're very important to the town. They do a very great job. So Scott, thank you very much. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Bill Smith?
Just congratulations to all the graduates at all levels of school. It's a fun time of year, but as the mayor said, enjoy, celebrate, but celebrate safe. That's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. I'm just going to start off with, to go back 100 years ago, history quickly, and how they dealt with plumbing and toilets and sewers. They didn't have any. They had to go out, the farmer or the homeowner went back and dug a hole in the backyard, put up a privy or an outhouse, and you had to take care of it. You had to, and when it got filled, you knew it was filled, and you had to go dig another hole and slide this thing over, which was an outhouse. So, Scott, we appreciate everything you and your men are doing to keeping us and that stuff away from us, but thank you. I'm just going to quickly, to all the graduates, follow your dreams. Do not let anyone put asunder to your thoughts and your ideas, and go out and reach for the stars. Be whatever you want and enjoy life. Life is so short. Delia, you said something that kind of just irked me. One ward is not treated equally. Everything's equal in this town, okay? This township and this administration and this council, we work all as one. There's no response here. It's very simple.
First ward, second ward, third ward, fourth ward is treated equally, fairly and properly and legally and professionally. Everyone in this town, this is one big family. We all work together. Your mom's looking down and just smiling because she used to throw things out there. You've done nothing but great work in keeping the conscience of the second ward and this township alive. We thank you for everything you're doing for the community of the present. I'm going to go back to those. To those we lost in the last month, Frances Veltri. Mrs. Veltri was the wife of Edward Veltri. In the 1970s, the planning board was Bernie Savage as mayor. Ed Veltri ran planning board. He was the chairman for over 10 years. Mrs. Veltri was always that stable persona behind Mr. Veltri. She was very involved with St. Agnes in the 70s, 80s, and when the church was established in the 1960s. She's just recently passed away. Our condolences to her two sons who I went to school with. Judith Bellicito, 101 years of age. She spent 10 years in Clark. God rest her soul. Walter Linsenmeyer. Mr. Linsenmeyer was from the Deutsche Club. I had known him, a long time active with the Deutsche Club. Michael Winters, an ALJ alumni. Again, I mentioned about Billy Watterson. Please come out to this service in front of Brewery, said the chief. July 4th, early morning at 9 a.m. Fireworks after. I'm going to go now to committee report, final report from Mr. Leyes. Anything?
Nothing. I just want to make sure Elizabeth Clee puts Scott in her report to the
With
people.
peanuts? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Chief. Okay. Madam Clerk.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to announce that Union County has purchased new voting machines, which will be coming to Clark for the November election. We currently have a link on the Township website, www.ourclark.com, and if you click on elections, you can go to that link and see a brief demonstration. We are going to be scheduling demonstrations for our senior citizens at their meetings, for residents, probably on weekends, nights, during the day, possibly before or after council meetings, and everyone will be notified through the mail from the County Board of Elections. They're all digital. It's completely different from the way you vote now, and so just I wanted to make you aware, go to that link and start to familiarize yourself with it, and you can go to as many demonstrations as you'd like. I plan to go to every single one of them, so they tell me it's an improvement.